Hey folks, we just passed the 300,000 subscriber mark and I wanted to tell you guys thank you for always supporting my channel. And if you're on a mobile device watching this and you want to continue to support my channel, there's a link down below where you can download some new mobile games, a specialized affiliate link for me, and whenever you click that link to download the games, and it will help out my channel. These are all totally free games. They're fun games. All you gotta do is download, install them, and play. And thank you ahead of time for all of your support in the future. Being the emperor of the universe for such a long time, Frieza desires absolute power. He always has and presumably always will. And in Dragon Ball Super, Frieza himself has stated that one day he wants to reign over everybody. So what would happen if Frieza at some point became a god of destruction? What would happen if this dude was able to elevate himself to that, at least that degree of power? Because him becoming the Omni King, that's kind of hard to swallow, but becoming a god of destruction, is it really plausible? And the answer is yes, and we're going to talk about that here on this video. Joining me, some new people to Geekdom 101. I want a very warm welcome from all of you. The architects of the Frieza God of Destruction theory. It's two people. Please welcome Nitori and Shijima. How are y'all doing?
Thank you for the warm introduction, Geekdom. I'm doing fine. Shijima, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
These two gals have constructed this theory. What if Frieza becomes a god of destruction? How could this happen? Certain events have to occur in order for this to happen. So let's go through kind of the theory that you guys have laid out for us here. So we know that Frieza wants power. We know he wants to eventually rule over everything. Knocking the Omni King off his throne is pretty hard considering how strong he is. However, Frieza becoming a god of destruction is plausible because, well, we know that gods of destruction are not that difficult to kill if you know the secret, which is the link that the gods of destruction have with the Supreme Kais, with the Kaioshin. So Nitori, tell us about how Frieza is going to be using this knowledge to kind of get the edge.
Well, Frieza presumably is going to at some point fear for his own hide very much. We do not know the specifics about how Frieza will find out the link about this link yet, but Shijima and I have kind of theorized that Frieza will presumably learn about this from Universe 4. And the reason why we're saying this is because one Kitella.
The idea would be that Frieza's going to discover the God of Destruction link through Kitella, and then he's going to use that knowledge. Because right now, he probably can't beat Beerus in a fight. But if he kills the Supreme Kai, then it's going to be like, well, wait a minute. Beerus will vanish, and we still be sitting there like, okay, what the hell? So as a result of that, the idea that you guys came up with, Shijima, I'm going to ask you about this one, is that somebody, whether it be the Grand Priest or Zeno, probably the Grand Priest is going to appoint Frieza as the replacement God of Destruction right after, correct?
That is correct. Basically, it all goes back to episode 95. Directly from Ro himself, that Frieza is a better god of destruction than Sidra, which Sidra is not a very good god of destruction, so that's not saying much. But I could easily see that line being set up for Frieza winding up in a God of Destruction job. The only question is, how will he get that and when? The reason I believe it'll be during the tournament is because of his line later in the episode that he is going to pull some kind of scheme on the gods during the tournament.
It would have to be something where the Grand Priest would just accept it and just promote him. Because for this theory, I want to say this also. For this theory, we have to put aside the evil angels theory for later. That might be a later arc. Yeah, so we're going to put that aside for just a moment. So Grand Priest promotes him, and he becomes Beerus' replacement. How does Whis react to this? I mean, I presume that Whis wouldn't like it very much, but he kind of can't go against his father right now, right? I'm guessing?
Back in 96, Beerus sanctioned anything as long as they'd win. Unfair or not, winning is everything. Frieza did not technically break any rules, and his hands are kind of tied on this.
So Frieza becomes a god of destruction, and as a result of that, he obtains Hakai energy, which gives him a tremendously scary power boost on top of the fact that he's already true golden Frieza. Now he's a very angry foe, a very scary foe, excuse me, but he's still going to be competing for Universe 7 because he's already registered. So he's not just going to sit on the sidelines like Beerus. He's still going to compete because he's still immortal, correct?
Correct.
So the next part that you guys told me about was Goku challenges Frieza to a fight because of the fact that he wants, to compete against a tough opponent, and he's always wanted to fight Frieza again and again. And the idea is that Goku wants to fight him after the tournament's already over if they survive. But Frieza, being the ever so anti-Goku person who is so thrilled to have this new power, he's like, how about we do it now? So Frieza then kicks the crap out of Goku but does not kill him. Is that correct?
Can't kill him. He would get disqualified, and there's no
That's
real
right.
reason to. It would be extra ironic if he actually defeated Goku and then outright spared him. That would kind of bring things full circle.
So now, at this point in the Tournament of Power, is it down to just Goku, Jiren, and Frieza, or are there other people still in? Like, what's going on? I don't want to focus too much on it, but...
There are people... Right now, there are still other people in the ring. Presumably, Gohan, maybe some of the heavy hitters. Yeah, there are other heavy hitters in the ring. I'd say this is around halfway to 2/3 through the tournament that this happens.
Now, tell me about Jiren challenging Frieza, because this is going to lead somewhere. Because, the rumor, again, is we said that there is a mortal that is beyond the gods of destruction. So the one dude who could take out Frieza and his tyranny would be Jiren. So correct me if I'm wrong, but Jiren sees Frieza doing this crooked thing of taking control of the rank, beating up Goku, and he wants to go in there and stop him. Because he's a pride trooper and he wants to do the right thing, correct?
And especially if Frieza is actually in the running for MVP status, because if he gets the Super Dragon Balls, everyone is fucked.
Especially now. So, all right. So tell me about the Jiren Frieza fight.
Jiren versus Frieza is going to happen. It's absolutely going to happen. Like, me and Shijima think that Jiren is not only set up as being Goku's primary opponent, but also Frieza's primary opponent. One reason being the connection between their names. Like, Jiren is basically a Japanese anagram for the word Renji, which translates into range or stuff.
They're kitchen tools, right? Or
they're kitchen tools, exactly. So the puns, exactly. Right. Secondly, it would also make sense considering the agencies of their characters. Like, Jiren is a pride trooper. He's ultimate justice. He wants to do the right thing, whereas Frieza is ultimate evil. Like, the point has been driven home over and over again, especially in episode 95, that Frieza is absolute evil. So that fight would go down.
Jiren is strong enough to beat Frieza, and according to what I have in my notes here, Jiren is going to defeat God of Destruction Frieza. Frieza will give him a good match, though. But Jiren is still going to edge it out, but he's going to end up getting damaged during the fight, correct? Is that correct?
We know for a fact that Jiren is going to win, though, because it would actually make Whis' statement that he is stronger than a god of destruction, if it is referring to Jiren. It would make that actually directly relevant.
But it's going to be a tough fight. Now, as a result of that, now here's where it gets interesting. This is my favorite part. What I have in my notes is, what does Frieza do right before he gets wrung out? Shijima, let us know, because I love this idea.
Okay, so essentially the last three in the ring are going to be Goku, Jiren, and Frieza. It'll come down to just Goku. Presumably they were hoping either Jiren or Frieza would ring one of the others out so they could challenge the last one standing. Unfortunately, Frieza is also in kind of a tough spot. The Super Dragon Ball Heroes 5 trailer showed those three as the last three standing.
It did look that way, yes. I addressed it, but we can't take that too seriously, but it could be a clue, absolutely.
He's not really sure who to side with, because if Jiren wins, Universe 7 is screwed, but the multiverse is left intact. If Frieza wins, Universe 7 survives, but the multiverse is screwed. And this actually ties into the lyrics of Ending 7, Righteous Demon and Evil Angel. Destroy myself or destroy everything else. We were all speculating what that ending means, and that could actually wind up being it. Anyway, Goku...
You're a genius.
Yeah, thank you.
Goku's going to be stuck in the middle, and Frieza, meanwhile, is actually losing. Presumably, he takes a mortal blow. Jiren is about to finish him off, but before he gets wrung out, he takes a cheap shot at Goku and says something to the effect of, "My hand slipped." But it's not actually an attack. It's a ki transfer.
He's going to give Goku Hakai energy.
Yes.
Right?
And that's how and because he's getting a direct injection of God Ki, not only is his stamina replenished to full, but he's able to access the form that was hyped in not only the opening, but the poster, the perfected
key visual.
Yes.
I love you so much. So this is awesome. So he's gonna pass Hakai energy to Goku. Goku will then freak out and unleash that, like you said, the secret form that has no name. You know, the Limit Breaker Goku, True God Goku. There's 1.5 million fan names. We don't even know if it's even a form or just a really big maxed out power up. You know, the form of the gods, and then this is gonna put Goku over the top as far as power goes. And then, as you stated in the notes, Goku will use that power to defeat the unbeatable Jiren, because what you're doing is you're stacking that Hakai energy on top of all the other power he already has.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that will be the end of the tournament.
Yes, that is how Goku will beat Jiren.
If you remember, like in episode 95, when Frieza threw that portion of Hakai energy at Goku and he couldn't handle it, like he also had like his back turned. So that thing could be like a foreshadowing to Frieza giving a ki transfer to Goku, and he's going to be able to handle that Hakai energy. Suddenly, the combined power of Goku and Frieza that is going to defeat Jiren.
The fate of Frieza, all right? Both of you have kind of come to the conclusion that we don't believe Frieza is just going to go back to hell in the cocoon for eternity, that they brought him back for a greater purpose. So
yes.
What's going to happen now? So Frieza did Goku a favor. He actually wound up being one of the big important points about Universe 7 surviving. What do you do with him? Tell me.
First of all, I want to say that I believe that the reason he is going to be helping Goku win in the first place is specifically because of the fact that Goku promised to revive him. So he's going to be essentially trusting Goku, which he's not going to like, but he's kind of out of options here. Anyway.
But I love it. I love that kind of storytelling.
Yeah, it would be kind of a dick move at this point if Goku didn't revive him, honestly.
Yeah.
So I think that Frieza's going to get revived somehow. The question is what to do with him after, because obviously they're going to be bringing Beerus and Shin back too, and I imagine Beerus is not going to be happy. He's going to want his job back. There are basically two possible outcomes. One, they send Frieza over to be the God of Destruction of Universe 9. This was also alluded to in 95, because what I discussed earlier, he's a better God of Destruction than Sidra. And we saw that Mojito was very happy that his universe was erased, presumably because he wouldn't have to deal with them anymore. It's entirely possible.
So like I was saying before we recorded, he might tattle on Sidra and Ro for screwing around with the tournament, and then Grand Priest and Zeno might say, you know what, fine, we'll put Frieza over there. That works.
Yeah.
And then he'll tell Mojito, control him. You know, he's out of his mind a little bit, control him. That could work, I think.
Yeah, the second option, which I think is slightly less likely, but Nitori thinks is slightly more likely, is that he will wind up becoming the Hakai Shin successor to Beerus, similar to what Toppo is to Vermood.
The reason why I think that Frieza is going to be the Hakai Shin successor to Beerus is, because, well, Frieza is like the perfect candidate as a god of destruction for like any universe. And given Whis' conduct regarding Frieza, him playing devil's advocate for Frieza, and Frieza presumably using the Hakai energy like so well, like a second nature to him, that Whis would be so impressed with Frieza that he would straight up adopt him as a successor to Beerus. It also solves the conundrum of who is going to succeed Beerus if Beerus somehow gets killed or dies or whatever happens to him, or if he gets even promoted.
Well, who's going to babysit Frieza, though, in Universe 7? Will it be Whis or somebody else?
Probably Whis. Whis is essentially the overglorified babysitter of Universe 7.
I've said that before, yes. So, that's awesome. Well, I like the idea. I think it works. Is there anything else you want to throw in there before we close out?
That's about it. But I just want to say that obviously we don't actually know what's going to happen, and I'd love to know what you guys think.
Yes, let us know in the comments what you think about the theory of Frieza becoming a god of destruction and the storyline that's been laid out here. Do you think that Toei can be this creative? Do you like the idea of Frieza and Goku actually, like, you know, having a full circle relationship where they're not going to be best friends exchanging Christmas gifts, but when the time comes for the right thing to be done, Frieza actually does it. And he's not really becoming a good guy. He's just doing what he needs to do.
Absolutely not. Like,
so look forward to hearing. Go ahead.
Like, Frieza's not going to become, like, most likely he's not going to become a good guy, but then again, this is super, anything could happen. But it's most likely not going to be the case. What's going to be the case, though, here, I think, is that Frieza's antagonist days are most likely over, because, you know, there's not much you can do with Frieza as an antagonist. It hasn't been done before, but this new direction, But this doing a new direction, and a lot of people are really underestimating how new the scenario really is. Goku and Frieza as allies, like a new beginning for both of them, a new beginning for Frieza as well. That he is going to have a much greater purpose as an ally than he would have as an antagonist.
Or at least somebody who's not going to constantly keep coming back.
Exactly, yeah.
Essentially, his grudge against Goku is going to be resolved.
It makes sense. I'm so happy to have you on the channel.
Thank you.
Everybody, look forward to a lot more from Nitori and Shijima in the future. I will leave a link to Nitori's Twitter down below, possibly a future channel once it gets created, and maybe who knows what you guys are going to do. This is just the beginning. Definitely, follow Nitori on Twitter, and any follow-up questions you might have, you can address them directly to them. And then there's a lot more coming in the future, but thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Pleasure. It was my pleasure.
Yeah. And everybody, thank you for checking out the video, and we'll talk to y'all later.